And then as soon as we finished having sex, I noticed I just wanted nothing to do with her. And I noticed in the morning, lonely and a little aloof as well.
Sex is one of the strongest drives and energies in our lives. So it represents our values all the more. The person you choose to bear your body to is the person that best reflects what you value in life. How long lasting is the sexual pleasure? What does it leave you with? It leaves you with the need to get a shower, and it leaves you with a stained bed sheet. Whereas if you spend a day with the right person, a day and a night, then you are left with something that might last your lifetime. No? True love always involves three: you, me, and the sky.
I think I'll change my dating profile to say looking for a threesome with you, me, and the sky.
You're using your degree, your pomp, your money almost to buy sex that night. You're using a human being's body, a woman's body, to satiate your lust. And now you're using me.
Love sounds like fun. This sounds like work.
If marriage is another name for long-term commitment, what exactly have you seen there worth committing yourself to? And then, so that we may not be ashamed of what we have done, we say marriages are made in heaven.
Thank you, sir, for extending the conversation. There are a lot more things on my mind. I wish I could say that, when she stopped paying, I just said, that's it, I'm done, and I walked away, but it's not that way. So Valentine's Day was coming up. And can I share this with you?
Proceed, please.
Yeah. So Valentine's Day was coming up. And I decided, well, I was texting her and trying to get her to come out, and she was ignoring me, and I kept persisting. And then she said, okay, I'll come out, very almost reluctantly. And then half jokingly, she said, well, since it's Valentine's Day, are you going to buy me anything? And it was like I knew that this was my way to get her to come out. So I said, of course, whatever you want, let's meet at a shopping mall. So we met at a shopping mall. I know that's not the most romantic place to meet on Valentine's Day, but I was desperate to see her again. So we met her, and then even there she said, I really don't like shopping, but only because you asked, I'm over here. And so I said, fine, thanks for doing that and meeting me. Since I promised to buy you something, what do you want? And when I said that, her face lit up. And she said, yeah, there's this shop I've been passing through, but since you're pestering me, I'll go in. So we went in, and it was full of women's clothes, and it was very boring for me. Like, I wish they had chairs in those shops, so at least I could sit and use my phone. But I pretended I was interested in the clothes, and I would tell her, red looks better than blue. And she finally chose a dress, and I said, I'll buy it. So I bought it. And this time I came with 2 international cards plus my HDFC card, and it worked on the first try. So I noticed her face lit up, and she was very happy that I got her something. And then something clicked in me saying, why don't you do more of this? So then I started telling her about my job and my business and my investing and my house in the US. And then I said, I'll take you to another nice restaurant this time and make sure everything works. And we did that. We had good food, good wine. And I noticed she was very open and warm towards me. And then I said, let's go back to my place. So she came back to my place, and it was a nice place that I had got decorated, and she enjoyed that. And I slept with her.
You had planned in advance or something? You got it decorated after the plan.
I had got it decorated from the beginning just because, again, I feel embarrassed. In the US, things seem a little cleaner and nicer, so I'd made sure the place I had here was kind of like that too. So she came back and she really liked that. And it was easy to go to bed with her. And I guess what I noticed was, as we were having sex, I noticed that I started noticing things about her that seemed so wonderful in the day. That her smell of perfume that I really enjoyed in the day didn't smell that good at night. I noticed her skin that seemed so smooth. When I looked at it closely, it didn't seem that smooth. And the long hair that I liked looking at just seemed irritating. I wanted to pull it when it was right in my face and push it aside. And I noticed all these little things. And then as soon as we finished having sex, I noticed I just wanted nothing to do with her. And I noticed in the morning she felt lonely and a little aloof as well. And I'm wondering what's going on, sir. It seems like maybe this is one of those scripts running again? Different woman, different man.
This is the same thing that's happening across millions and billions of households every day, every night. So it's the same drama being played out over and over again. The experience that you had is not particular or limited to you. It's a shared experience because we are following common and shared scripts. So there is nothing unusual about it. Maybe you had expected something different or better. That didn't materialize. So you are finding it important enough or odd enough to raise it here with me. And I see you are quite lively about it. The whole thing holds meaning to you because probably it's still novel to you. Probably because it's not yet a repeated experience with you. But yes, there's nothing uncommon or novel in it at all. It's happening everywhere with everybody. Right? However, if you ask me why is it happening everywhere with everybody, then I'll have a bit more to say. You want me to proceed?
Please, sir. Please.
You see, we make choices, right? We are human beings. The mark of a human being is her or his ability to choose. Rather, he has been condemned to choose, as one philosopher famously said, that man is condemned to choose. We have to choose, we have to choose. Now, animals are not burdened with that choice, right? A lion doesn't have to choose between an apple and meat. An elephant doesn't have to choose between walking on land and climbing up a tree. Human beings can do a lot. Their biology alone does not dictate them. Or rather, they potentially can do a lot. Their biology need not necessarily dictate them. So we have choice. You can eat this, you can eat that. You can go for this job, you can go for that job. Right? You can wear a shirt, you can wear a koti. can keep your hair long, you can keep your hair short. So even in sexual matters, obviously there is a choice involved. The kind of person you choose to have sexual union with is a reflection on your entire life and all your choices. Because the center of choice is the same. The one making the choice is the same.
Wow. So I've always thought that I'm lowering my standards when I sleep with.
No. You're not lowering your standards, you're displaying your standards.
And that hits, that hurts.
I don't intend to, but pardon me if I do. So, Darius, what do? I mean, I try my best to sugarcoat it and keep things mollified, but that's the nature of truth. It cuts through falseness, and when it cuts through, then it hurts, irrespective of my intention to not to hurt.
Yeah. Hurts because I know it's true and I'm trying not to see it.
Thank you for bearing. So, you came to India around an year back, right?
Yeah.
To meet family?
Family, business, all that stuff.
Business, right. You're making choices there. Business necessarily involves choices. Now, I would want to caution you. You want probably that I speak on your sexual encounter that particular night and how you felt and how the lady felt and how both of you felt disillusioned and weary the next morning. I want to extend the scope of the experience and the discussion. So you're making choices with respect to not only your sexual partner but also your business partner. When it came to the sexual partner, because the whole thing is so gross and so obvious and so ineluctably in your face, literally in your face, you just cannot avoid seeing the fact. You just cannot avoid smelling the stink. You just cannot. I mean, it's like this. So you're forced to admit that you didn't like the experience. And you're forced to admit that you could see that even the lady was not greatly enjoying it either. But when it comes to our other choices in life, the whole thing is not so obvious and unavoidable. So we pretend as if our choices are going right. How about your choice of the car model you drive? How about everything? What are the parameters we choose? What is the criteria? What is the criteria? Unless that is clear to us, our choices would be like throw of dice. We would be groping in the dark. At times, just due to good luck, serendipity, we'll probably make a good choice. Just as you sometimes get a 6 in a throw of a dice. But that would be merely incidental. Most of the times, we would be making a suboptimal, if not a wrong choice, an outrightly wrong choice. One has to look at the chooser. We rarely do that because our education does not prepare us for that. So we choose the wrong man, the wrong woman, and we do not know why we are drawn to the other person. Right? Your sexual choice is an expression of your deepest values, just as everything else is. But because sex is one of the strongest drives and energies in our lives, so it represents our values all the more. The person you choose to bear your body to is the person that best reflects what you value in life. Are you getting it? You could have paid sex, and I do look down upon it. So there's the sex worker, and you pay her, and then you denude her, disrobe her, and then you enjoy the lowest kind of pleasure possible. That tells so much about you. That tells what you value in life. You do not value anything in life. You just value carnal pleasure. You took it where you got it. And where did you get it? Where it was most easily available. Pay for it, get it. By the way, that's what most people do. That's how all of us are, configured within. A variant of this is happening in the animal kingdom all the time. And then there is the other point in consciousness, a higher center of operation, where you say that the fellow you choose to be with must be a fellow worth it. You say, because I am not merely the body, therefore I cannot value the other merely for his or her body. What does the other person stand for? I have to first of all look at that. Because my body is not my primary identity. I know that. My primary identity is my consciousness. My primary identity, or rather my higher identity is my mind, my thoughts. And then ultimately you move to the spiritual realms where you start saying that not only the body, not even thought is your primary identity, there is something else. But that we can keep for some other time. What is certain for sure is that your consciousness, the way you think, the point from where you think, is a higher identity compared to your physical identity, right? Given two bad options to choose from, tell me which one would you prefer?
The least worst.
Losing a limb or losing your faculty to think?
The limb.
The limb, right? Now again, losing both the limbs or losing your faculty to think?
The limbs.
Right. So that tells you who you are. Now, do you even look at the thought process of the woman? While you value your capacity to think very highly, at least you profess that you do you even look at the thought process of the woman? And similarly, does the woman care for the thought process of the man? I hope she does. But is the man caring for the way she thinks, the point she operates from, the beauty of her thought, the grandeur of her vision, the elevation of herself? Do we really care for that? If we really care for that, then our choices will be so very different. And then those choices will not disappoint you the morning after the way they did. Right? Because when you are going only for the body, you realize that what you want from the body won't really come from the body. The body deceives. What you are really seeking to get is something that the body really is not designed to give. Therefore, the body disappoints. And look at the horror. The body is disappointing millions, billions of couples every night, every morning. And yet they are carrying on as if nothing has happened, as if they have seen nothing, as if no news have been delivered to them, as if nothing has been revealed or exposed. The truth is exposing itself in every single sexual encounter of yours. And yet we close our eyes to it. In fact, if you look into it, repeated sexual activity is probably needed, because you know that you didn't get much from it the last time. You can dispute it, but maybe there is some benefit in looking at it from where I am looking at it right now. So you can go back to your position maybe a while later, but do share my concern right now. So it's not about sex, it's about your entire life, your entire personality. We think that our sexual choices are just a part of our life. No, they are not a part of your life, they are a manifestation of your life. That particular choice sums up the entire story of your life. So do all your other choices as well. Please, I'm not saying that it's only the sexual choice that contains your entire story. All your other choices. So I talked about, for example, the choice of a business partner, the choice of your car model, the choice of the place to reside at. We have to be careful. We live in a deep ignorance about ourselves, and we don't bother to wake up because we have built systems that allow us to carry on with some comfort, irrespective of the wrong and painful center we operate from. So the economic system around us and several other support systems, they just keep us afloat. And because we stay afloat, we think we are swimming. We're not swimming. We are just kept afloat. We are being saved from sinking by various forces that we have built. But that's not the same as living joyfully, as swimming joyfully through the river of life, right? You're just somehow afloat. You turn 14, you turn 16, and because you do not know yourself, you do not know life, you start following the dictates of Prakriti. By Prakriti, I mean physical nature. So the body has been trained to go after women, girls in that age, and girls are trained by Prakriti to go for men. And we do not know that it's not me, but the physical conditioning that's operating. We identify with the body, and therefore what the body does becomes our fate. Why should the tendencies of the body be allowed to become your fate? Right? You didn't choose your genetic material, did you? If it has come to you as a matter of coincidence, it's a mere accident, then why should it be allowed to decide your entire life story, your very fate? Why should you be a slave to your genes, to your physical tendencies, to your hormones, to everything that you got from the womb, but including your gender? That's what you get from the womb, right? Why should that be? But that's what happens, and that part of your life story starts right from the age of 14, and It's a very important part, and you invest a lot of time and energy just chasing the other, and then you spend 10 times that time and energy just somehow tolerating the other. Because the relationships have a certain stickiness, right? Both sexual, moral, and even religious and legal. You're into it, you can't easily get out of it. There is the emotional resistance against getting detached, and there's the religious part of it, the legal part of it, and you get habituated to living like that, and you continue tolerating nonsense. And then comes a point very soon, Darius, when you don't even want to complain.
Yeah, it just seems natural.
It starts seeming natural. This is the way it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be that way. It's not supposed to be that way. You made it this way, and then to justify your bad decisions, you are labeling your decisions and their outcome as optimal or acceptable, which they surely are not. Have I taken the discussion to a point you didn't want it to go to? No?
Yeah, it feels like we've gone really deep, and just being able to see all this stuff makes me wonder what are the other choices I might have taken in this way, where I was looking for something in someone or something, and I
Let me
didn't
make
get
it a bit interesting for you. So you should be asking me. It's the same me who went to that woman, and it's the same me that comes to this discussion. And if the center of the operation is the same, so are you in some way
like the
That's what you should be smartly asking me. But fine, I'll do it for you.
Okay. I wasn't sure. It sounded like we were very deep, and I didn't want to be.
Now, in this question lies our hope. We are not perfectly conditioned. We are not bots. Not bot. While we operate from this level of consciousness, we also have the option to change gears and operate from here, and here, and here, and here, and here, and here. That requires effort. Because at this particular level, we have developed a certain comfort. I don't really know how comfortable you felt while coming to me and talking about all this. But in general, people do not feel comfortable. It requires them courage to come and open up the way you have done. You too probably would have had to muster some courage to do this. At least internal conviction. We can be better. We can make better choices. Whenever we are making a bad choice, we fully well know we are capable of much more than this. We deserve far better than this. And if we could just remember it at that time and then clench our fists and grind our teeth and say, no, I would rather go hungry than consume trash. Life would be so very different. No?
Yeah.
The problem is, like in gravitation, It's easier to fall than to rise. From a high point of consciousness, it's easier to fall to a low point, especially when you are conditioned to stay at the lower point. But to rise from a lower point to a higher point requires discipline, effort, wisdom, and renunciation. And even when you reach a higher point, you require something special to stay there. Otherwise, you will
Fall
tumble
back
down. Yeah. So that's the reason why most people live the way they do, at relatively lower levels of their consciousness. And if that's the way you live, life is being wasted.
So it sounds like in every decision, I have to make the choice to rise and not to fall, and be aware that even something as simple as ordering a sandwich can potentially be an uplifting one or one that's not.
Very, very well put. I'm glad. Extremely well put. Every single choice that you make is either an opportunity won or lost. It's not a regular thing. Life is a constant set of testing choices. There is a test, and the test operates through choices. It's almost like an MCQ exam. So there is the exam operating through multiple choice questions. So every single thing that you are doing, every single moment is an MCQ. Answer it rightly and you are elevated. Answer it wrongly and you are degraded. And especially the question concerning sex, that has a lot of weightage. If the grand total is 100, that MCQ involving your sexual choice probably has a weightage of 10 or 20 or 30 or I do not know. But for sure it has a high weightage. You answer that one wrongly and it will be very difficult for you to recover. It's a sticky choice.
Why is that so? It seems that almost many religions, many cultures, there's this sort of tread carefully when you go towards sex.
Why is sex such an important choice? Because the most fundamental objective of Prakriti, of your bodily conditioning, is procreation. Therefore, it has configured us and our brains in a way that a lot of energy necessarily flows towards sex. Right? The common man, the average man, can ignore so many other things in life. Right? For example, he will ignore his education, as so many people do. He may ignore his physical well-being, as so many people do. But there would be hardly anybody who would say that he forgot having sex. People can forget getting an education. People can forget earning money. People can forget reading books. And people do forget. And they forget the whole thing so totally that they may remain uneducated their entire life. But nobody goes without sex his entire life. That's because we are configured that way. Our instincts cry out for sexual union so that the little baby might be produced. That's how Prakriti wants to use this body. Prakriti wants to use this body to beget another body, little body. And then it wants to use this body to raise that little body. Which is quite a stupid cycle if you see. So this body is used to get another body. But that another body is so small and weak and defenseless. So what do you use this body for? A lot of the lifespan of this body is used just to take care of that little other body. And then the same thing happens in turn
Again and again.
with that body that you just raised. So all of that is quite pointless. But then that's what? Prakriti is pointless, purposeless. All it wants is continuation. The species must continue. But that's not what your objective is. You cannot have a pointless life. Prakriti is completely all right with you having pointless life and a pointless existence. Prakriti is completely happy if you are a deranged and insane fellow having 5 kids.
So can I fool Prakriti and satisfy my...
You don't have to fool her. You have to understand her. And once you understand her, you could say you are friends with her, you could say you are on top of her, whichever way you want to put it, depending on your... Once you understand her, she becomes your able resource. Now your body is not your blind driver. Once you understand her, your body is not your blind driver, taking you down stinking alleys, stinking, sloping and slippery, from where it's very difficult to recover and claw your way back. Now your body becomes a thing to be used for your purpose. Life according to Prakriti can be pointless. Life for you must be purposeful. You want a target in life, and you want a high target in life, and you want to be moving towards it, and you want to come as close to it as possible, and in that lies the juice of life, the fire of life, the love of life, the success of life. And how do you do that? How do you move towards that? By using what Prakriti has given you. But that cannot happen if instead Prakriti is using you. If Prakriti uses you, then indeed you have been made a fool of. But is it possible for you to realize who you really are and utilize what Prakriti has given you, including this body, this intellect, memory, the faculty to analyze, everything. All of this is a resource, provided you know what to use it for. So, your choice of your sexual partner too has to be in the service of your goal. I know that would sound a bit jarring. You would say, am I going to choose my partner for a purpose? Yes. If that sounds new to you, then it's a good thing. Something new has come to you. You cannot just have a sexual partner. That's what animals do. They just mate with somebody. There's no purpose there. There's just instinct. The blind rush of impulse. When you choose a partner, there has to be a purpose. And that purpose has to be a higher purpose. It cannot be an animalistic purpose. And that's called love then. So don't tell me love is purposeless. Don't tell me love is blind. Love has to be extremely purposeful. And when I say purpose, I do not mean by this word the ordinary purposes we are usually busy with. When I say love has to be purposeful, the purpose has to be the ultimate. Love is purposeful, and love has its eyes set on the ultimate. The purpose of love is to bring you to the highest that is possible to you. That's love. That's love. And it must have a purpose. Ask yourself, what's my lover bringing me to? Right? And what is it that I am bringing to her? And am I raising her? Or are we just together for fun? I know this kind of thought is in circulation that if the two of you are together for a purpose, then it is a transaction or a deal or something, and therefore love must be reasonless. This is nonsense. Love needs to have a higher reason to it. And that higher reason cannot be your animal instinct. Just because you wanted to mate and you came across a female that appealed to the old animal within you, you went after her, and you probably do not even fully know that because the entire deal happened subconsciously, and because you do not know your reasons in going after her, you start saying, my love is reasonless or purposeless. No, your love is not reasonless. It's just that you do not know the reason. And if you will see the reason, you will be aghast. It's a very animalistic reason. It is a very primitive reason. It is a very lower reason. So have a reason and have a higher reason in loving. When somebody asks you, why do you love a particular person? You should not be found gaping. I do not know. I'm just pulled towards him or her. This won't do. You have to know. You must know. Most people do not know. Most people do not even want to know, because if they are forced to encounter this question, why do you love him or why do you love her? The answer will be uncomfortable. The answer will continue to remain uncomfortable even after 20 years of courtship or marriage. Because the answer is an ugly answer, very ugly answer. Why are you with her? Tell me what in it appeals to you. Tell me what in him speaks to you. You won't want to answer that. How long lasting is the sexual pleasure? What does it leave you with? It leaves you with the need to get a shower, and it leaves you with a stained bed sheet. Whereas if you spend a day with the right person, a day and a night, then you are left with something that might last your lifetime. No? True love always involves three: you, me, and the sky.
I think I'll change my dating profile to say looking for a threesome with you, me, and the sky.
You're using your degree, your pomp, your money almost to buy sex that night. You're using a human being's body, a woman's body, to satiate your lust. And now you're using me.
Love sounds like fun. This sounds like work.
If marriage is another name for long-term commitment, what exactly have you seen there worth committing yourself to? And then, so that we may not be ashamed of what we have done, we say marriages are made in heaven.